Hello everyone, Ashnader again. Holy cow, I actually posted a video, and there's a decent time gap between this one and my last video. You're welcome. Now, about a year ago, I'm sorry for the lighting, I posted a review video, about this motorized Talking Thomas and Cranky set. And it did pretty good. It's my second most popular video at 220 views current at the time I'm recording this video. So, seriously, how did we get that many views? I want to see more of that. Thank you so much. In that video, I talked about the All Engines Go Push Along Thomas. And I talked about how he looks exactly like he does in the show. And to be completely honest, I believe that I'm right. I mean, the big difference is that there's no coal load in the show, but I think it looks better with a coal load. And, I mean, this does look bad, but when you compare it to the show, I think you can see where I'm coming from. And I said that the great attention to detail could be enough to save the franchise, and then at the beginning of this month, I walked into Walmart and I totally called it. In this video, we're going to do a review on the Sodor Adventure Pack to see how good these new push-alongs are. We're also going to be doing a review on the Mattel's 80th anniversary Ruby Push-Along Thomas, because I got this months before this was even in stores, but I figured that I could just put them in the same review video. I hope that works. First off, again, unscripted video. We're going to be doing a review on the 80th anniversary Mattel, the 80th anniversary Mattel Push-Along Thomas. Earlier this year, back in May the 12th to be exact, I did a review. I made a little movie series, a 3-part movie series focus about me being in the world of Thomas and Friends and helping them to rescue Edward from the Diesels to foil their plans of scrapping all the steam engines. I hope you like that video, and I would like it if you go watch it. Help support the channel. And I was in that video. But if you read the title of the video, you will see 80th Thomas and Friends 80th Anniversary Special. This, despite saying 80 right there, is not for Thomas's 80th, but Mattel's 80th. Yep, you heard me right. Mattel, the company that owns Thomas, is turning 80 years old the same year Thomas is turning 80 years old. That is just a hilarious coincidence. Also, I just want to make it clear before the video starts, this was not sponsored by anyone. All products were bought at full price with my own money, and I am not being paid by anyone to speak positively about it. So, I just want to get that out of the way. Now, the package looks great. It's simple, yet it does the job really good. We have Fisher-Price, Thomas and Friends, Mattel's 80 years, and this little zigzag going across the top of the thing. Now, if you look closely in the middle, it looks like the letter M. That's actually supposed to represent spokes on the side of the Mattel logo. I think that's a good detail. And just like in my previous video, I'm going to be taking this out of the box. I'm sorry, alright? I just find them to be more of use when they're out of the package and doing the thing that they were designed to do. Might be a minute. Hang on. And with that out of the way, I can finally talk about this Thomas. I was not able to preserve the packaging. I'm sorry, box people. I did try. I really did. Now, when it comes out of the box, it's going to be taken apart like this. So, like, the two minecarts will be connected, but Thomas won't be connected to them. So, you're gonna have to connect them when out of the box. But, I just figured you should know that. Now, this is a great model. I mean, and everything's really shiny. The whistle's shiny, the running boards is shiny, the side rods are shiny. He's got a little, and that face is just awesome. Also, I just want to point out that we haven't had side rods on a die-cast Thomas since Ertl was a thing, back in the 1980s. And I am so glad that we were able to bring that back with this model. The minecarts are also great. Now, there is one thing that I'm a little upset about. You can't take the crystals out of the minecarts. They're molded together, which is pretty disappointing. I think it would have been fun to swap this in the opposite direction. But overall, it looks great. Now, Mattel has claimed 2025 to be their Ruby year because of their 80th anniversary. They want to celebrate with Ruby color. So that's why Thomas looks like this. Now, he looks great, of course. And there's just so much detail. The buffers stick out. There's a molded lamp, molded whistles, an open gap between the wheel arch and side tanks, an open cab window, which we haven't seen in forever, and even a molded tail lamp. Something funny is that the back buffers aren't painted, even though the front ones are. I don't really fret over this too much, I just feel like I should point it out. Also, if you look closely, you can see that the bunker kind of goes outward a little on the model, which is on the CGI model. That small attention to detail is just so good. You can see it really good with the shading at this angle. I can't say I'm a fan of the coal load, but it's alright. And that face, oh my goodness. It is just amazing. Has a little light glare in it, has the perfect cheeky expression, and it's just so good. I'm glad to see that Mattel's doing a good job. And the minecarts. We have a nice silver polish with some ruby minecarts. Now, they didn't change up the wheel design for the wheels. They just reused the old All Engines Go ones. But that's fine. Although, I have heard people on the internet complaining about how the paint on the minecarts rubs off. Like, this shiny look that it has doesn't last long. And if you rub your fingers on it too long, it's going to just look white and look bad. Now, to avoid this, grab it by the crystals, because they don't wear off, or the wheels. Do not touch the silver carts. And I think that Thomas's side rods would suffer the same fate, so careful of that. Something I feel like I should mention, I don't just have one Thomas. I have two. Now, for an explanation, I should come clean about something. I have a brother. I won't say his name for privacy reasons, but he's a really nice guy. He's my older brother, and he is just... A lot of people say that older brothers are mean, focus, but mine is actually really nice. He's always willing to share or do anything for you, and he's just a great older brother. And because of that, we decided to get a second Thomas for him to play with. My dad wanted me to keep one in box and one to play with, but then my mom suggested, how about one for Ashton and one for his older brother, whose name shall not be spoken in this video. And Dad just had to agree. And I quite like her offer. It makes things a lot more fun for me and him. Since I've had these minecarts longer, and they've been out of box and exposed for a longer amount of time, the paint is starting to rub off on the edges. It's not super bad, but you can definitely see it. And it's losing its shine, and yeah. So that's pretty sad. It's not too bad on this model, but it still stinks. Fortunately, I have second minecarts, and I have duplicate minecarts, which not only means that I have backups, but means that I can have 4 minecarts attached to each other, which just doubles the fun, am I right? Overall, a very good toy. A perfect representation of the character. I can definitely recommend it for anyone who wants to get their kid, or just themselves, some nice Thomas toys. That was not on camera. Now, we can talk about the Sodor Adventure Pack. This has all the other characters you have from the range. Thomas, well, an exclusive Thomas, with a painter on the side finishing his red lining. But also comes with Percy, James, Henry, Annie, and Clarabelle. It also has a promotional image of Thomas and Percy on the front of it, with this nice blue metal background, which I quite like. On the top of the box, it's the Thomas and Friends logo, Sodor Adventure Pack in a bunch of different languages, and a promotional image of Percy and James. On the right of the box, we have the Thomas and Friends logo, with promotional images of James and Thomas. Apparently, James's cab is cut in half, right over Thomas's face. On the bottom, it's, again, the Thomas and Friends logo, with Henry and James. On the left of the box, that I opened up because I wanted to play with these early, we have Thomas, Percy, James, and Henry. On the back of the box, we have a bunch of copyright information that I do not feel comfortable showing you for some reason. We also have a character encyclopedia with all the engines that it comes with. The renders are a bit goofy on some of them, but for the most part it's good. I noticed that Thomas, Annie, and Clarabelle have their name in 6 languages, when Percy, Henry, and James only have their names in 5 different languages. Just figured I should point that out. Now we can actually get on to all of the characters. I'll start with Annie and Clarabelle. Now, they look pretty good. I do wish that their wheels were smaller, but I'm not complaining too much. Something funny I noticed is that they're actually based off of their older Trackmaster push-along form, because you can really see that they scale quite well with my old push-along Thomas. And I mean, just look at this thing. He's just so squished. What are these monster truck wheels? And it's not even the face is good, but it's not even constructed properly. I can literally take the smoke box off. Like that. I also have this 75th anniversary Thomas, which I actually do like because of how good it looks. Nice paint job. I called this Diamond Thomas for a while. I think that's kind of funny. Moving on. A notable difference between the two is that Annie is smiling and showing her teeth, when Clarabelle's just showing off her lipstick that she has, apparently. But I do wish they would have made a new mold for them instead of copying the old push-along design and just giving it unique prints, because it just feels lazy and out of scale, and just look at how small their faces are, seriously. And you can also just tell them apart by their nameplates. Also, if there's a bunch of really cool images of what the interior looks like. I don't really feel like they needed it, but I don't mind that they had it. The gray is supposed to represent curtains, I believe. And this is what it looks like from the other side. Overall, not bad. Could be a lot better. I do wish they would have made new molds, but it's alright. Now moving on to Henry. He looks pretty good. He has a pretty chill expression. I do wish they had another wheel arch back here, even though it would have been just a half one. And remember how I said that the minecarts on the Ruby Thomas were the same design as the old All Engines Go? Well, I know they could have changed it, because they did. This is frustrating, but I don't mind too much. And I don't have much to say about him. He's got a lot of nice detail, and looks good. I do feel like he is a bit too small, but it's alright. Moving on to James. He feels too big. I mean, look at him compared to Henry. He's literally taller. He should not be taller. He still looks good, though. One thing I should point out is that the cab and tender are also from the All Engines Go design, just with different wheels and maybe prints. He also has gold side rods and silver wheels, which I think looks nice, and a nice little expression that the camera refuses to show to you. Moving on, sorry. Percy looks good, too. Sorry, did that come out? Percy looks good, too. I feel like the font for the 6 is off, and the side rods are just way too off to the side, but he still looks really good. And something I should point out is that Percy and James's back buffers are painted, but Henry and Thomas's buffers aren't painted, which I feel like is a bit weird. It really wouldn't have taken a lot of time to do it. And his coal load is actually molded in. It's part of the metal. And there's his face with his absolutely ginormous eyes. I don't dislike it, I just feel like I should point it out. And finally, Thomas. Well, we already talked about Thomas, but he's just not as shiny as the Ruby Thomas. That's the main difference. He still looks really good. You can see that his mouth is a little more open, and he seems a little more determined from his facial expression, but overall, he looks great. He also has bolt details, unlike the Ruby Thomas, and he also feels his normal paint just feels shinier, or more reflective, if that makes sense. Now, and he's actually exclusive to this set because of that little painter filling in his lining. Now all these trains look really good. Now, of course, some of them don't look their best, like Henry needs to be bigger, Annie and Clarabelle should have their own mold, along with James's tender, but I can confidently say that they are trying. They're not doing these as some dumb cash grab. They are putting solid effort into these trains, and I just love that so much. I can't wait to get more engines like this. Now, I'm only missing two. The classic Thomas, that's actually has complete paint, and a special Thomas that I'm not going to tell you the name of for surprise reasons. Now, I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a lot longer than I was expecting. Sorry. But I don't really have a lot of control over that. But I've gotta go, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye, everybody.